P. Diddy just a person just like everybody else. People put people on a pedestal. They call them icon. That's like a statue or something. So they put people higher than they'll put God. So when they do something crazy, they holler about, I'm appalled, I'm upset. Who got the right to be upset with anybody? I mean, nobody don't know that man on a personal level. You act like you his best friend or something like that. So I say it like this here. P. Diddy ain't the first one that kick somebody in the ass and won't be the last one. Now these young girls get out here and chasing the bag. I hear them talk all the time. Girl, you got to have a ball, you got to be chasing the bag. In that bag might be an ass whooping. So take your ass whooping and get what's out of that bag.
Right.
Cause
right.
See, you got me nervous. You told me you trusted me.
I gotta go back to another episode of Podcast Official Page. All right.
It's the podcast. We ain't the cable guy, but we your Comcast. Come take a seat. We need to speak and we can all laugh. Last Monday of the month, 7:30. Zoom in, chime in. We be talking dirty. It's the podcast. We ain't the cable guy, but we your Comcast. Come take a seat. We need to speak and we can all laugh. Last Monday of the month, 7:30. Zoom in, chime in. We be talking dirty. This is the podcast. This is the podcast. This is the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
It's the podcast. This platform for you. It ain't for me. So let's hear what you got to say.
This has been the best broadcast we've had.
Our topic of discussion for this month is, what are your thoughts on P. Diddy?
I probably should have saved this for last, been the last person to speak, because outside of the obvious when it comes to everything surrounding Sean Combs, he got me out here considering dropping my nickname, because
and I was literally getting ready to ask you that. I'm not even because I know you. I know
so
Diddy.
serious.
I know Diddy is your nickname. So
serious. And my nickname ain't got nothing to do with that man. And it was never a play on his. It's actually a play on my real name, Precious Dillard P. Diddy. Like, it make more sense than his actual. Anyway,
right.
So, but I came to the conclusion that if somebody by the name of Precious did something reckless with their life, I can't change my name to Precious.
Right.
So, but just the stuff that I've witnessed and the footage that I've seen, I'm disgusted. I don't condone violence, especially domestic violence. No, whichever way it go. But I'm disgusted, and Jit got me ready to turn the Diddy in my name at least silent or something, because make all the letters silent. Because man. I literally had a stranger. I was connecting with her at the Jazz Festival here in Atlanta not too long ago. And we was exchanging social medias. My name is Coach Precious Diddy. For those who don't know me, I am a life coach at BU Life Coaching. My whole persona is just positive vibes, love, and light. I'm exchanging contact information with somebody. That lady was like, "Girl, you need to change your name." I'm like, "What? I didn't do nothing. Did nothing. I didn't even. What? Well, I got to change my name." And I'm wondering if there's a group of Diddies in the world that's like, because we need to find each other for support and figure out how what our rebuttal's gonna be to people who tries with the little side conversations and stuff. But
right.
Obviously, I don't condone nothing that man is doing, and I'm disappointed in him because he does have he's grown to have a lot of power in the industry, and we seeing what he's been doing with it, and it's very disappointing. So on a serious note, I ain't messing with that. On another serious note, I'm thinking about dropping my nickname.
Let me ask you this before I let you go. Did you so just say for me personally, I can't speak for the whole world, but for me personally, prior to just say R. Kelly being taken down officially, I know that I've always heard the inklings of, what he ended up just say being taken down for, I guess, ultimately, like him already kind of being that person. Did you already have some type of awareness about Sean Combs growing up or anything, or was this your first instance when all of this came out?
When people started calling me Diddy, and this go back to like not middle school, but like high school, and especially when I was serving in the military. You know how I go. We go by last names or nicknames in the military. People ain't learned my first name until they read my paperwork. But I always would say, you know, my nickname's Diddy, but I don't want to be confused with the people everybody know as Diddy. And then again, the fact that my first name begins with a P, to me, it just made more sense for my nickname to be what it is because it aligns with my real name. But to your, you know, to answer your question, I wasn't necessarily, I be minding my business. I ain't gonna lie. And it's a wonder why I do life coaching, because I really prefer to mind my business. So I wasn't really looking for stuff like that. I would see things come across like they were suspicious about, you know, his twins, daughter's, you know, wife, what happened with that, if he had any foul play with that and stuff like that. But I just knew I didn't want to get confused with this dude just for the decade or so later for this to happen. And I'm like, now what you gonna call me? I'm just playing.
Sometimes we need to find something better to do, man. Seriously. P. Diddy is just a person just like everybody else. People put people on a pedestal, they call them icon. That's like a statue or something. So they put people higher than they'll put God. So when they do something crazy, they holler about, I'm appalled, I'm upset. Who got the right to be upset with anybody? I mean, nobody don't know that man on a personal level. You act like you his best friend or something like that. So I say it like this here. P. Diddy ain't the first one that kick somebody in the ass and won't be the last one. Now these young girls get out here and chasing the bag. I hear them talk all the time. Girl, you got to have a ball, you got to be chasing the bag. In that bag might be an ass whooping. So take your ass whooping and get what's out of that bag. When you start telling the truth, and then when it comes down to women, they want to be equal. Everybody want to be equal. Everybody victim. They say, oh, you victim shaming. What the hell y'all come up with all this craziness? You telling the truth about somebody. Everybody knew who P. Diddy was from the beginning. Even the security guards who telling on them now, and the friends at the party who tell. See, that's why I roll different. Everybody ain't in my game room. I see you, what's happening, and you see me, I'm by myself. Even if I'm at a club or something, I'm in and out. Because people ain't who they say they is. And our people is the first one to tear you down. Boy, look here, they could be rolling with you. I bet you everybody that's on here probably done heard his music, done dance to the music. As soon as somebody said, what happened? Oh, we ain't playing this music anymore. What does music got to do with what he did? That ain't got nothing to do with the person. That's why I said people, man, it's something else. But watch this here. When Diddy did that, did they tell everybody it was 2016, somewhere down the road? If they wouldn't have showed that, ain't nobody would have been on there. They talking about this man everywhere. You can't turn on the TV. Diddy this. They'd have been there. Okay, white people. One thing about, I heard a white person just say that. He said, boy, one thing about y'all sure tear y'all people down. I just looked at them because I be around them and we be doing shows and they be saying the crazy thing about them. But they true. They telling the truth. I just didn't say nothing. They say that we'll tear each other down faster than we build each other up. The same people that'll cheer your name will be the one to destroy you. That's why I don't deal with certain people. Okay, so Diddy did what he did. He ain't the first one, won't be the last one. You understand? She know what the bag was when she was chasing. So that girl probably ain't thinking about nothing we saying or nothing we talking about, because she done got her money and gone. Them scratches and knots and that kicking on healed up since 2016. That girl done got her money and she out of there. So we just pulling it, we just dragging it along. But I say it like this here. Be careful who you call friend and who you be around, because they'll be the same people to destroy you. I can't judge Diddy. I'm not God. I can't judge him. So whatever he did, he got to live with that. That's him. But this is the thing I don't understand about Diddy. He apologized. To who? He don't want nobody no apology. If he ain't apologizing to the girl he did it to, boy, he getting on TV apologize, because people really don't care if he about what he did. All they gonna do is tell him he did it and destroy him. That's it. That's all people are about. So I just say it like this. Diddy is who he is and go be who he is. They know who he was, the people who was hanging around. They knew who he was. So why not? Why now? Why come out now? Oh, he was doing it. Okay, if he was doing so much and you knew he was doing it, what that make you? Whatever it make them, they out there talking. Whatever it make them, they out there talking now. Why didn't they say it when it was done? Why they didn't say nothing when Diddy was doing what he was doing? Because everybody wanted to be on this team. But now somebody said something. Now everybody running. But we got so much to say, like we got a hell to put him in, and we don't. So I don't judge nobody. I just say it like this. She knew who she was. That ain't the first time Diddy went upside her head. I guarantee you that. She knew what she had. So sometimes you chase the bag, every now and you get what's in the bag.
After Mark, I don't know what to say. I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go. Okay, we had the life coach. Now you have the Reiki practitioner / ex-comedian. So I'm like, here's my thing. Kind of like I can understand Mark's perspective a little bit. When you're doing these things and when you're in the limelight, the spotlight is on you and everybody can benefit. When everybody's benefiting, nobody has a problem. The problem occurs as soon as nobody's benefiting no more. As soon as the money gets dropped or you ain't paying somebody enough no more, then everybody wants to say everything. This stuff is way far beyond. Diddy is lightweight. Diddy is lightweight to stuff that people been doing. And I'm going to say our less melanated brothers and sisters been doing this type of stuff forever before we even knew what it was. They was pimping before we was pimping. This stuff been going on. But it's like, when it's a melanated person that does all these things, we like Mark said, we're going to tear him down. We're going to do all of that. I do not condone anything that he did, but I'm also not his judge or juror. As far as what Mark was saying about, as far as like Cassie and J-Lo at first, they were riding the wave. You know, Diddy was like the come up for them. J-Lo was fortunate enough to get out of it. She was like, I ain't taking that gun charge. I'm out of here. Right. Smart. She got out of there. She had enough coins to get up out of there. Cassie didn't. Cassie was like, I'm going to stay with you because I need some bread. And she stayed. And like Mark said, like, when I always say, this is probably not right. And I probably have this perspective probably also because I'm not a heterosexual woman. But what I have learned with my heterosexual family members, they will take a lot of stuff from a man that got money. Like, you won't let somebody go upside your head or treat you any kind of way just because it's beneficial financially. I believe Cassie had plenty of opportunity to get away from him, and she did not. So my thing is this. No, Diddy, you're not right. What you did, everything that you did is probably not right. It's probably wrong. I can't judge you, right? I'm sorry you got caught. Sorry. I'm joking. I'm not sorry you got caught. But I'm just saying, like, when everybody's benefiting from you, look at everybody's coming out now. We knew who Diddy was. We knew who Diddy was on the whole. Look at how he was with Biggie. I saw that type of connection maybe because I felt that I saw what was going on back then. But let me bring you even more up. Making the Band. We saw his behavior on Making the Band. And Dave Chappelle did a whole skit. Remember when he was like, he told him to go get him some Cambodian breast milk on the skit? I don't know if y'all saw that. Dave Chappelle even, like, everybody knew what did it. They was like, just don't go to his parties, don't do this, don't do that. People knew. But it's the people when you can't pay them no more. Like that producer who came out, I forgot the producer's name. And the producer told all of that stuff. They put all the documents online and everything. I read the whole thing. I had a Google form and read the whole daggone thing. When you can't pay people no more, people can't benefit off of you anymore. They don't need you anymore. So it's like, yeah, now I'm gonna tell on you.
Right.
What I hope is that anybody who was affected, and maybe they weren't trying to ride a wave, maybe they might have been like an assistant or something like that, working in one of his business offices or something like that. For those people who were truly not trying to benefit from him, but just were doing their job and they were affected, I feel for those individuals and I send them healing vibrations. But for all the people who were all around him for the money and for the clout and all that stuff, guess what? This is what happens when you clout chase. Cassie, she got her money now. I don't know why she waited so long, but she got her money now. J-Lo making her bread. I feel really sorry for, this is who I do feel sorry for. I feel sorry for his kids. Even the one that looked just like him. Everybody's saying that's Lord Diddy. I really feel sorry for them. I really do. Maybe not sorry. I hope that they are not scrutinized so much. I can't even imagine them in school right now. What's going on with the daughters, especially the younger ones. And then little baby Love, by the time she get older, I don't know if she's gonna be able to live the lifestyle that the other kids live, because I don't know if Diddy gonna have nobody left.
Right.
But, so all of that just to say, people gonna ride the wave when they can ride it. When they can no longer ride the wave with you, they out and they're gonna tell on you. But again, Diddy is lightweight. Les melanated brothers and sisters been holding that kind of stuff down forever and a day, and they still gonna do it, and they still gonna get away with it.
I like what the young lady just said, and I hear she right, But what I was just saying is the things that we do come back to haunt us. It does. The things you do. I mean, back in the days, like me and my wife used to fight. She loved to put her hands on. She was quick with that. You said something she didn't agree with, she either grab a knife or put her hands on you and stuff. And one night that got her kicked in the ass. Yeah, got me locked up for domestic violence, but got her kicked in the ass. Yes, because my mama said if you could pass a lick, you could take one. Keep your hands to yourself and your feet on the ground. Now things I grew up watching my mama and daddy getting into it. My mama threw the glass at my daddy one day. We was in the kitchen. I had to be about 8 years old, 9. And they started fighting in the kitchen. So I ran in there and said, hey, that's my mama. He said, yeah, I know who she is. I knew it before you knew it. And from that day right there, he said she was my wife before she was your mama. So you might want to sit in that corner over there. And right then and there taught me something, man. And stay out of grown people business. That would have taught me. Because after they got through, they was over there singing Al Green song, hugging. They cried together, fixed each other up, and it was back to square one. So whatever they was going through was their business. So I learned to stay out their business. But when my mama got enough of them with it, she packed her bags. I came home from school one day and we was gone. You see what I'm saying? Ain't seen my daddy for a long time. So when you get tired of something, you know how to leave what you tired of. So like the young lady say, Cass, she knew what was happening. And I'm quite sure in all the time she been with Diddy, she was getting some type of money she could stash.
Right.
And get out of there. Believe me, she wasn't broke. I know he gave her something. But if you want it, sometime, like I said, chasing that bag, it's other things in that bag that you got to accept to keep the bag, to keep the limelight, to be in the, like, Beyonce and Jay-Z got a song saying, Hollywood ain't for everybody. It's called Hollywood. And if you listen to that song, she's telling you everything can come with it. It's not glamorous. It's just the light. Them lights go out. And then you have to deal with when lights go out. So whatever he did so far as him having sex with, I heard one guy talking about on TikTok about a tape he was having sex with Meeks Mill. And he was actually listen to the dope. Who does that? That's what I'm saying. You listen to the dope, taping this man beating Meek Mills or whoever he was in there with. So they knew who he was. But one thing about it, white people, watch this, the difference between us and white people. Donald Trump, they did all kind of crazy stuff. So all they doing is saying, Donald Trump won't, and remember I said this, won't spend a lick of time. Because that's a different type of crime to white people when they see it. See, they went and stormed the Capitol behind Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was wrong. Dead wrong. All the crazy stuff he was doing. But them white people went and stormed the Capitol. Told a bunch. And then went to jail. Donald Trump said, hey, I ain't had nothing to do with that. See the difference? See the difference? But our people, I was watching a movie the other night. They was hanging out with this lady in the neighborhood. It was an old movie. And soon as they said, the little old lady said, she's a witch. Now this the same person that y'all know y'all hanging out with. They down there brought a mob at her door, burn the witch, burn at this thing. Now they gonna set us on fire. Because somebody said she was a witch.
Right.
Don't even know if she's a witch, if she ain't float or did nothing. So what I'm saying is, sometimes they sick the mob on it, and it be us. We'll tear each other down. Oh yeah, they start the ball rolling. You heard about the captain touching little boys. That came and went. Ain't nobody saying nothing else about it. The little boys done put back their pants on and they gone.
Hey Mark, so let me ask you this. Do you think that I guess it's an issue that, let's just say, that Black people hold each other, for lack of a better term, more accountable than white people do? Or do you think that's an issue, or we should allow, we should, I guess, take on their mindset and not hold them to the fire when they do something?
Okay, then that's a good question, Rudy. And let me answer that. Because you know anything you can ask, I'm gonna answer. Check this out. What I feel is this. White people don't see things like we see them. They let the courts deal with whatever you did, or the judge gonna be the judge and the jury. He gonna convict you of your crime once it happened. They don't get into that. They'll say a little something and then it's gone. It's gone. But us, we have to destroy you. We have to. We most of us, we look at reality shows and if they ain't fighting, we ain't looking. If they ain't tearing up some shit, we ain't looking at. It's most controversial for us. We like to see all the bad stuff that come with it. That's what I'm saying. If it ain't bad, if we can't tear each other down and say, look at them, they got him now, And that starts from the Willie Lynch. If you ever read the book, Willie Lynch, our minds already governed when it's come to us. Sometimes you look at a Black person, another one, and they tell me, look at this. The person ain't even did nothing. Right. It's hate already.
Right.
We hate each other more than the rest of the people really hate us. We hate ourselves. We destroy ourselves, man. Because a Black person will kill you, fancy he'll put a gun on a white person. So it's been like that from the beginning of time. And maybe one day we'll wake up, and maybe we won't. But like I'm just saying, I have heard white people talk about how strong we are, how smart we are, intelligent. But it's so sad that we don't know it. So we take the opportunity to destroy another person instead of lifting him up. Now, Diddy did what he did, but we wouldn't even know that if somebody went to leak the tape 2016. Just think about the years that done passed by. We're in 2024. When everybody tripping about what happened back then. There's people that was living ain't even here no more. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna go back and talk about why they ain't here? No, we keep going with our lives. So this, I don't know how long this will blow over, but we got to set that torch. We got to be the one to set the torch. And you're gonna hear a lot of nasty things about him. But watch this. You won't hear it from white people because it's already set. He either going to court, or be judged, or whatever his time comes. That's what that. But us, we gonna keep it going.
Sorry to interrupt, but I do want to let you know something just in case you're unaware, all right? This podcast actually is sponsored by a church. This platform was actually created by a pastor, Pastor Elmer Wilson, the pastor of New Beginning Ministries of Tampa. Listen, I know sometimes you may hear content on here that may not sound the holiest of holies, but that's the point. We allow people to come on here and express themselves and be themselves the way that they talk or the way that they think, the way they operate. It ain't no judgment. Hey, do you, boo-boo. Do you, okay? But nonetheless, if you live in the Tampa Bay area, we want to invite you to church, all right? 11323 North Nebraska Avenue. That's where we located, okay? Tampa, Florida. Pull up on us. You live in the Tampa area, pull up, man. We would love to see you. Okay, we love to see you. And if for whatever reason you can't pull up in person, you need to do a live stream, attend virtually, we go live at 12 noon every single Sunday. The real service in person is at 11 a.m. The live stream is at 12 noon, okay? On Facebook, you can watch it. On YouTube, you can watch it. Facebook is New Beginning Ministries of Tampa. YouTube, New Beginning Ministries of Tampa TV. Facebook, New Beginning Ministries of Tampa. YouTube, New Beginning Ministries of Tampa TV. Okay, we go live at 12 noon on the dot, and if you want to come in person, we go live at 11. All right, pull up on us, man. We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you. All right. Come join us. Let's see your face right here at New Beginning Ministries of Tampa.
Welcome to the podcast.
All right. Now go back to listening to this unholy podcast.
The other part about it is like I wish that we as a people, there's a saying that we've heard over the years, many years. I've heard it since I was a child, and I'm 45 years old. It's like, don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution, right?
Mm.
So I wish that when stuff happened, like what happened with Bill Cosby, happened with R. Kelly, now it's happening with Diddy. I wish there was a way that we could like pull our brothers or our sisters, because our sisters, a female gonna come out next. It's probably gonna be Oprah. It's probably gonna be the Oprah. Oh Lord, I hate to see what Oprah did, but anyway.
You just gonna throw Oprah in the fire like that?
Oprah probably is. What if she the female Diddy? Woo! What would Oprah nickname be? I don't know. But I wish that it's a way that we could stand behind them and try to do something. With all these past with TV, well, I guess I shouldn't say TV, but I wish that somebody could, like, we could stand behind our people, like how it's bad how they stood behind Trump, but they did.
Mm.
That White House situation was crazy, and they went to jail for this man.
Mm.
Not us. We like, yep, you did it. We don't listen to you no more. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the Harlem Shake. Thank you for Biggie. But we don't stand by our people. We don't. We tear them down. As soon as everybody start tearing down, we're like, next, we're gonna tell you that we tear each other down. We're not a part. Many of us, many people are not a part of the solution. You just be a part of.
Let me ask you this: what would be, I guess, an ideal picture of what it would look like for us to stand by them or to hold them down? So they do all these heinous things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of us crucifying them, what would be the alternative to what would that look like?
So get Eric Badu to give him a call. Look, we about to do breaking sessions on you. We get ready to take you on a spiritual journey. Like, seriously, like.
So you saying? So you're saying?
Let's just say Diddy.
Right.
Let's just say Diddy. I wish someone would have Lisa Lopez him. I ain't talking about the accident. I'm talking about how she went to Honduras and she sought out, even when she sought out Dr. Sebi, like all that stuff, like none of that's happening. It went straight to criticism. We know, because I don't know if anybody tried to come to his aid.
Right. But you're saying go towards healing to prevent them from doing this again and not hold them to the fire for what they've already done. So
I think if the courts say that he should be held to the fire in some type of way, okay, you can still do that, but that doesn't mean that he's getting rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying the additional piece definitely should be the rehabilitation spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just saying, we don't do that with our people. We just tear each other. As soon as we do something, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're exiled. That's it. But we're the same culture that walk around with t-shirts. What would Jesus do?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at a lot of the TikTok videos, when you go to the comments, it is a lot of Black Christians, like really letting it rip. And I'm just like, I just sit back and I watch, like, everybody's going to tear them down. Nobody's going to do anything to help with the problem. Like, it's crazy.
He did this.
We've only, I can't, who was that, Dave?
Oh, my bad, bro. I thought I was on mute. I definitely did. Oh, snap.
You want to say something? Or you...
That's all I had. That was my. Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I think the apology was trash. I don't know if anybody said that. I don't really feel the apology. Apology was really authentic. I felt he was better off just riding it out. But then he made it, known that, yeah, that was me. And it's like, oh man, bro, you're terrible. Yeah, he's not good. He's gonna. I don't see how he's gonna bounce back from it, but we'll see.
I mean, I get that aspect of, you know, other cultures hide they people better than we do, but I mean, what is the benefit in hiding evil to me? I mean, just because you better at hiding than I am, don't make, you know, it don't make it any better, in my opinion. I mean, that video was disgusting. I mean, if you got a daughter, if you got sisters, well, we all got mamas, but that was tough to watch. You know what I mean? And I mean, so for anybody to be, you know, and I mean, and not to, you know, I respect everybody's opinion, but for anybody to be, you know, pushing to hide that rather than deal with it, I think that you part of the problem with that mentality. Because I mean, it don't matter if you black, white, you beating on a woman, it don't matter if it's in a hotel, wherever, in your house, don't nobody know, you beating on a woman, it's dead wrong. It's point blank, period. That's really all I got to say on it.
Gotcha. I mean, so did you have any thoughts on just the scenario as a whole? I know that was kind of more response to what was said on this podcast, but just
I mean,
overall,
as far as like, I mean, it's wild, man, and it's so unfortunate because I'm pretty sure a lot more gonna come of it. I mean, it's tough to be at the top, especially once you get to that level of fame and notoriety. I mean, everything you do is definitely broadcasted. You never get away from it. But I mean, it wouldn't really matter to me if he was black, blue, purple, or polka dot. I mean, that was that's foul, bro. That's foul. Like I said, I got a daughter. I mean, for anybody who side with it, if it was one of your, see, because we do that a lot in our community too. We only ready to act on it if it's happening in our house, if it's our sister, if it's our mama, if it's our auntie. We only ready to ride in. You know what I mean? But that you got to call a spade a spade.
I get white people might, you know what I'm saying, they might look out for their people in a way to where, I don't know if they deal with stuff in-house or not, because I'm not in their community. However, what I do know is this system that we live in, it was created specifically to benefit them. And in a lot of cases, when we be seeing people commenting that are of color appearing, that's a part of the backlash, that's a part of the whole narrative of Black people are always, because I can't stand absolutism either, but Black people are always the ones tearing each other down, when we know for a fact that there are people who will blackface themselves, whether it's digitally or just masking themselves up periodly, just to create chaos, to further perpetuate the narrative that they're trying to push. Now, me personally, I don't want to, when I saw what I saw on January 6th and the stuff with Trump, and he don't even believe in the court system at this point, because he said that's rigged, right? But right. I feel like maybe it's because we hold each other accountable. Maybe we do it too public, and that's the issue. And that gives them other cultures an end to them being all out in our business. But at the end of the day, we got to be accountable. And I mean, if we're the culture, and I get there's also there's a group of people who take it too far. There's a group of people who don't even be having no facts, but got a strong opinion, and what they say be loud and wrong, but their apology be all quiet and soft. However, I think it's unfair to just say Black people be so quick to tear each other down, when that whole stereotype was perpetuated by a group of people who actually are the ones behaving the way they're trying to say we behave. And they're a part of the problem themselves, in the fact that I've caught people commenting negatively and joining the crowd, if you will, and they're not even in our community. Just like when we were seeing with the protesters, the peaceful protest became violent when it was actually people who was infiltrating and coming in and pretending to be protesters to make it look like the protesters was being violent. So when stuff like this happen, I try my best to like sit back and keep my opinion to myself. But I don't think we should be following the lead of what white people are doing, because They've been savages since the movie before Pocahontas. So as far as I'm concerned, their moral compass ain't one I want to necessarily follow. And right is right, wrong is wrong. Nor am I the judge or one of 12 jury members on the case. I think there needs to be more grace given and more understanding, but for sure accountability, because we can't turn a blind eye to just behavior that's just wrong. It's just not right. And that's not to say that, he there isn't room for him to redeem himself and stuff like that. Because the truth, now we talk about Chris Brown, who had a domestic violence situation, and people are still holding on to it to this day, when it's like, where is the fine line between holding somebody accountable and then everybody just piling on for the sake of piling on, and still protecting ourselves as a Black community from the ones who aren't doing right, but to Nick's point, still getting some sort of rehabilitation out of it as well. Like it's super complicated. Like, it's layers in this conversation, I think, but that's all I had to say.
Well, I ain't never apologized for anything I did. Nothing. Have never. I ain't never, because I always say, what you do it for, if you're going to apologize, and who I'm apologizing. See, this is the thing about my people. When I say that we tear each other down, that's true. They ain't nothing about, we the only people, and the white people, we not like the white people. God made everybody the same, different color, but people got their same thought. I can't tell you what your thought is, and really don't care what your thought is. What I'm telling you is that we tear each other. Watch this scenario. I'm going to give you reason. Watch this. My sister ain't had nowhere to go. Moved her in my house. Fed her, gave her room. She ain't paid no bills. My rent was $2,000 a month. She on the phone talking about me. Oh, he think he's so much, he got all this. And I heard her. I'm saying, Yvette, for real? For real? That's how you feel about me? You ain't had nowhere to go. Your daughters wouldn't take you in, or nobody. I took you in and stuff, gave you a place to stay. You got food. You got a roof over your head. And you talk about me like a dog. And people coming back and telling me. I'm a single father. My daughter, 14, she got a 4-year-old. She's in the 8th. She graduates tomorrow, and she going to the 10th from the 8th. And I'm a single father, so I do my thing. I got a daughter. I love her. I trade my life for hers. But it's also rules and levels to this, and I teach her that. It's levels to this. Life got a level, and you can't get what she did. She skipped from 8 to 10, but certain people get to the level they need to be to. But she might have to come back to 9 to figure out what went on before she got there. You understand? So what I'm telling you is, people are talking about you and keep you. It's your people. You ever see somebody that say, look at that, he driving the road. He probably done stole for that money and sold drugs. Why he just could be successful? Why we don't get together and tell each other how we got to that level? Mm-hmm. But the first thing we say is, oh, look at this. I have heard it. They've been around me. So I roll differently. So our people will be the first one to tear you down. Done seen it, done lived it. So who ain't never lived it, they're fine. But what I'm saying is, everybody's talking about what Puff Daddy did. A lot of people right here, right now, got some skeleton in their closet. They ain't gonna tell you. But they want to be so holy than thou. But if we was rolling like God said roll, we wouldn't be out here judging nobody. Well, okay, let's judge Puff's daddy. Everybody on here right now. We don't judge them. Now what? Where we gonna put them? We gonna put them in jail? If we ain't gonna do nothing, then don't say nothing. If you ain't got nothing towards it to do, then what you talking about? He don't owe damn one us apology. You don't even know that man. So what you saw him do in 2016, that was years ago, and you wouldn't be thinking about that if you didn't see it. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of stuff in the dark people don't see, and that's right. Donald Trump people, this man did everything up on the sun. The lawyers, if y'all been watching the case, the lawyer told him. He told, and these people still saying he didn't do nothing and willing to die for this man out there. One man set himself on fire. Did y'all see that? I'm just saying they are different from us. That's what I'm saying. And you're going to feel the way you feel, but I'm telling you too. So like I said, sometimes we need to stay on our side of the street. And we ain't going to do nothing about it. Everybody got something to say about what Puff Daddy did. Think you gonna change it? He done did it. That was 2016. This 2024. So what we gonna do now? We gonna go back and just talk about what Puff Daddy did and the stuff he did? They say he was sleeping with Usher and stuff, and Usher mama let him go stay there. So like I told my daughter, if you got a man, my cousin I told him, don't go over there fighting that guy about your daughter. I'm going over there straightening that. Went over there and jumped on the guy, and his daughter had the police to take her daddy to jail. This man did 2 years behind that. And the daughter's still with the boyfriend that was fighting. So look here, I learned to fight my battles. And my daughter knows she's in a bad relationship. I've talked to my daughter before when she jumped on her boyfriend, and he ain't did nothing. But I talked to her. But like I said, it is what it is. Everybody got something to say. But if you ain't got nothing for a solution, then what you talk about?
I definitely don't agree that anything should be hidden. And so I wanted to clear that up in case that was misinterpreted. Mm-hmm. The perspective is not to hide. It was, no, I'm saying if we're not going to be, just period, point blank, if we're not going to be a part of the solution, then let's not be a part of the problem. I'm going to give a real life example. And I know this is recorded, but I'm going to give a real life example because it's in true transparency. And I used to talk about it when I was performing comedy on stage. So I used to be legit a fighter. Like I just would fight all the time when I was younger because I didn't know how to express my emotions. Well, I had a mentor that was like, you know what? You really like to fight and you're winning these fights. So guess what we're going to do? I think you should get into boxing. Boom. I get into boxing. I got really, really good. Then that changed my whole life during that time as a youth, well, a teenager into my early 20s. Where are the people who see this man doing all this stuff as family members, friends? Where your real people at? Where the mentors at? Does somebody see you doing this stuff and don't pull you up? We can't just wait until stuff hit the fan and then tear each other down. When you see something going on with somebody, be a part of the daggone solution. Do something. And that's why I keep stressing the rehabilitation piece on it. I'm not saying he should not be held accountable for things that he did. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. But what else are we going to do to help him? Because some people got enough money that you can throw all them charges on them. They can go to jail, what? A year, 2 years, 3 years? But what jail really going to look like for Diddy? He gonna have a penthouse suite. You get what I'm saying? Like, what is that really gonna look like? It's not gonna help him. He might come out and be a badder beast. Because what did we do? Just put him behind bars, make him pay some fines. Look at Trump. I don't care what you do to this man. I know I'm not. Oh, let me stop for a second. To Dillard, I'm not saying at all that we need to follow the whole chain of command or trajectory of our less melanated brothers and sisters. But what I am saying is we do need to pull on our people and love on our people more. And you remember when we were little, I don't know how old you got, everybody is on here, but when you was younger and you did something, the community whooped your butt. It wasn't just your mama, your daddy. Might not have been your aunt and uncle. It could have been the neighbor. You was out there showing your tail, a neighbor whipped your butt. We need to get back to that as a community. Like, let's pull each other up. Hey, that's wrong. Don't do that. Let me show you a different way, though. Because when you just say that's wrong, don't do that, or that's wrong, you shouldn't have did that, now you're in trouble. Even with my son, I have a 13-year-old. I don't just chastise him. No, I'm gonna let you know what you did, why it was wrong, and we're gonna talk about what's gonna be the next steps. And what's going to help you to not do this again. But that's not what's happening right now with Diddy. And I'm not saying that this man is not wrong. I ain't saying that he's right. I'm not the juror. What I am saying is, let's get the brother some help.
I agree to some extent with everything that I've heard, pieces of everything that I've heard. I do agree that white, black, purple, pink, if you are wrong, you are wrong. And you should be held accountable. It's not even a race thing, a color thing for me. You should be held accountable. I also believe in grace being given. Somebody mentioned WWJD. Jesus was about love, but he held people accountable. He holds us accountable. If you don't believe and accept him as Christ, you're held accountable. You go to hell, you know? And so being like Christ, it does mean giving grace, but it also means holding, you're held accountable for your actions. So I agree, looking at that video was very, very hard to take. Even if she had put her hands on him, I'm just an advocate. A man shouldn't be beating on a woman. Find some other way to deal with it, but that's a whole different story. So, but I do think there might be some assumptions being made on the call that no one is reaching out to him. We're not in that circle. There are many times when celebrities get in trouble, and then you hear that the different pastors and different other celebrities on their level have reached out to them and tried to pull them in and tried to talk to them. So we're just not in that realm. And everybody talking on TikTok, whatever, I'm not on social media like that, but whatever the comments people are chiming in, they're just like us. They're just giving their opinion. We're in this land of free speech and they give their opinion, but they're not in a position they can't even get to Diddy if they wanted to. But I do think there perhaps are people in his circle that are reaching out, maybe trying to counsel or trying to help in some kind of way, trying to talk some sense into him, whatever it is that's on his level that we will never know about because we're just not in those circles. But if he did it, we'll let the courts do their thing. They're pouncing on it. If he has to, pay, do the time for the crime, he just needs to do that. I feel the same way about Trump. I'm hoping that judge will have some integrity and some courage and give him the time that he needs for those 34 convicted felonies. But I do think, though, we as a people, I think we are a loving and a forgiving people. We might talk and give our opinion, but yet and still, I've been in some realms, as my sister said, how do you say it, less melanated brothers and sisters, where they will slice each other up. You're talking corporate America and other places. They might not say a whole lot on social media, but they will kill their mother to get ahead. They will slice each other up and do very, very devious, premeditated actions to get back at one another, or to, if they feel like they've been done an injustice. So, like you said, the community used to, get you, everybody, neighbors and everybody could get you. Well, that's kind of still what's happening here. The community is, you're wrong, you shouldn't, da 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 da. And that's what we see on social media. And it appears like he might not be getting the help he needs, or he's not been given grace or whatever. But people are going to still buy his music. You know what I mean? If he goes to jail for 2 or 3 years and come out, he'll still do. I think he'll still do okay. So I think he might be getting some help that we might not necessarily be privy to. And if not, on our level, I can't call up Diddy to try to say, hey, do this, that, or the other. But what I can do is pray. So those of us who can't reach him right off, we can, pray that he will get the help that he needs, that he will, whatever happens, that it will be what he needs, and that he can have some reconciliation and some restoration. And for everybody involved that was done wrong and beat up and all of that, there'll be some healing going on, and that something good can come out of this awful looking situation. But I do think, I'm not convinced he's not getting the help and the grace on his level. We just don't see it. We're not privy to it. I personally don't know anybody who knows anybody who knows anybody who knows Diddy. I'm not even anywhere in that circle. But I do know a lot of times you'll hear about after the fact, the Oprahs of the world. Whoever said Oprah was next, no. I refuse to believe it. And the Steve Harveys of the world, and all of those people in that world, the Tyler Perrys of the world, they're known to reach out when one of their fellow celebrities run into a little bit of trouble. So I think he's probably getting some talking to and some counsel and some help. And I just pray, that what's best for him and everybody concerned will happen for him, and not be judgmental and condemning of him. I do think he needs to be held accountable for whatever it is that he's done, but condemn him and that he's the worst person in the world. Somebody already said, he's not the first, won't be the last. We understand that. But now that we know, even though it was 2016, now that we know, he needs to be held accountable. But I do think, guys, he is getting some counsel and some help and some talking to and some alternatives and, advisement from the folks that are on his level, though. And we just don't see it. All we see are the people like us commenting on social media, and it feels like everybody is just giving him no grace, no whatever. But I think he's getting a little more grace maybe than we realize.
I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it with this to each and everybody who's out there who's listening or not. We could do a whole lot of things. It's gonna take Diddy to take care of Diddy. You can help people. You had an uncle on drugs, and he didn't, want no help, and the whole family tried. Came to this man and look, we're gonna get you some help, put you in the rehab. We can do all kinds of things. And he went to the rehab, got out, and just say, man, I don't need no help from y'all. I said, well, my grandmama said, you got a problem with drugs. He said, I ain't got no problem with no drugs. It's only a problem when I can't get them. So I'm just gonna tell you this, Phil. Diddy gonna have to help Diddy. He got to want to be helped. People like that, I don't know what went on in that hotel 10 years ago. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I can't say what went on. Whatever she said to him and whatever he did to her, them two was there. They the one went through that. So for us to come on and say, well, Diddy was wrong and stuff like, you don't know what happened. And the young lady who said, she don't condone a man putting her hands on a woman. I just saw a woman kill a man one night at the club, shot him to death. So listen, if you could pass a lick, you could take one. I tell you, as a woman, if you out here and you ain't with me, keep your hands to yourself. I don't care who you is. Keep your hands to yourself. If we ain't role playing, now you can scratch me and bite on me a little bit if you wanna, if we role playing, but I got to know we role playing. But other than that, keep your hands to yourself. You get what's in the bag sometimes. Like I say, you chase the bag, it might be an apple in that bag. But like I said, Cassie got her money. She's gone. We don't even know these people that we see Diddy. Yeah, y'all see him. But can you actually say you know him? Talk to him? Had a conversation with him? So we don't know these people that we see. So what I'm saying to y'all, when you pass judgment, you could convict me. You could talk about me. You could hate me. You ain't even got to like me or nothing. But only God can judge me. So look here. Y'all have a nice night. And if y'all got a thought about it, just keep your hands to yourself. And Diddy need to keep his hands to himself and his foot. Because he did something to that girl and it wasn't right. No, it wasn't right. But it happened already. So now what we gonna do about it? That's what I'm asking.
So I think Precious said it earlier. I mean, this whole just say Diddy situation is complex because there's layers. I know a lot tonight was discussed about the Diddy and Cassie specifically, but there's a lot. Like I said, I even heard reports this morning on the radio about people just coming out with just say as far as like hostile work environment and not just hostile in the sense of like he making people work hard, but like as far as like inappropriate stuff going on. You have just say like all of the trafficking and sex slaves and all this other type of allegations going on, and then you even have the stuff with Cassie. And for me, and I hope the feds don't see this and try to use me as a witness, because I'm definitely denying any type of participation. But I definitely have a friend who I will remain nameless, who I remember some years back. He was in the gigolo game. If people don't know what the gigolo is, it's a man who gets paid to sleep with women. And I remember him telling me that he was paid by Diddy through these services to sleep with Cassie while Diddy sat and watched. And I remember at the time pretty much kind of thinking he was lying, because I'm like, I just don't think that I would ever know anybody who would ever even be in the circle of having any type of connection to Diddy or Cassie. Like, come on, bro. Like, I mean, I believe maybe you are getting paid to have sex with women, but that didn't happen. But then all these years later, when, just say what she was kind of accusing him was that same type of thing, it made me kind of look like, oh, such and such might have been telling the truth. So that little insight right there has kind of opened my eyes to just say everything that he's been accused of. Not saying that I have confirmation that he definitely has done all those things, but it kind of led me to believe that maybe there is some truth to it, because I had like kind of a firsthand experience in reference to knowing somebody who, was kind of connected to a situation like that. So, I haven't spoke to this particular guy in years at this point, since he's told me that. But if I were to get in contact with him, I would definitely rehash that conversation, because, like I said, when he told me at the time, I didn't believe him. But then, like I said, the same things that he was talking about, those accusations came up. So that's one thing. And so, I mean, it is pretty complex if you just look at everything in totality. And I do agree that, yeah, we aren't anybody's judge. I do agree that, it is wise to pray for them, pray that, these different people, get the help that they need, not only for themselves, but even just so that there are no more victims, that could possibly, be affected by this person or anybody else. But at the same time, one thing that I learned when I was in film school is in like our entertainment law class, once you become a public figure, you actually lose your right to privacy. You know what I'm saying? So good, bad, or indifferent, like, your business is allowed to be out there in the streets. And I personally don't believe you can hold the spotlight and have people talk about you all day long when things are going good, if you can't take that same, talking when things are not going your way. Like, if you're in the spotlight and if you're a legend and you're a mogul, and, because even to Mark's point, and Mark, you my guy, but this part, I just say disagree with you on, like, as far as like talking about things that happened in the past. Like, I mean, we talk about everything that happened in the past about celebrities and icons that, that were good, whether you're talking about, somebody who's already dead and gone, whether it's a Michael Jackson, Martin Luther King, whoever, or if you're talking about even somebody that's alive. Like, it's not okay to talk about the past when we're just praising them, if we can't talk about what happened in the past if we're scrutinizing them as well, because you are a public figure. And so you forfeited your right to privacy once you decided to take on, that role. Now, granted, yeah, we all have, just say, skeletons in our closet that maybe we wouldn't want people to know about, because people may judge us and look at us differently. But we also get to maintain that privacy because we're not public figures. Just like people who put out movies or podcasts or songs or anything, and they get upset when somebody doesn't like the movie or the song or the podcast. I tell them, you can't think that people are hating on you just because they don't like the piece of art that you put out. Like, if when you put it out and they praise it, or you put it out and they hate it, you get to deal with the same type of, just say, scrutiny either way, because you put it out there on a public platform for the world to see. So whatever results you get back from it, you have to be willing to accept it, whether it's in your favor or not. And also, I think Nard said this, like we also kind of hold people to the fire depending on like how we feel about the situation, depending on how much we hate the person, whatever like that, because like if a police officer killed white police officer killed an unarmed black person, we don't care nothing about not knowing them, not knowing who they really are, or whatever like that. Like we want him under the jail. You know what I'm saying? We want him crucified, we want him in jail. There is no grace, there is no rehabilitation, there's no nothing. Like, go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I hate you, you committed this crime, but that's because it's against, my people. And I think like it's our connection to maybe the victims, whether what, if or even the person who's in the fence of where we stand on what the punishment should be. And once again, we have to kind of keep it even across the board. We can't want to hold some people to the fire, but then other people not, even when it comes down to pastors. A lot of people don't give pastors any grace. Like if a pastor cheat on his wife or steal money from the church, whatever like that, you don't know him personally, but most people are going to say, hypocrite, make him lose his church, cancel him. He should never preach the word of God again. There is no rehabilitation. There is no second chance. But when it comes down to just say the Diddy's, the R. Kelly's, the Bill Cosby's, I've heard more arguments towards giving them grace than even just say people who, operate in ministry. So I hear everybody's, thoughts and I respect them. That's what this platform is for you, but to come on here and get it off your chest and leave it at that. But I kind of think that you just have to kind of be more even keel across the board. Like if we are going to be people who are going to assess a situation and rehab people, then that has to go for everybody, not just the people who you like and not the people that you don't like.